I've heard that the internet hates Ron. Over in this house, we love all three characters. We love Ron, we love Hermione, and we love Harry.
Although I do hear that Ron is better in the books, but it's been a really long time.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Since I read the books.
I was telling Yosef before we started filming this that I actually want to read and watch the movies like simultaneously. So I want to read the first book, then watch the first movie, read the second book, watch the second movie, and so forth. Welcome to the Point of View podcast. My name is Asada Haman.
And my name is Yosef.
And here we are today for another episode.
Yeah, we're, well, at least I'm super excited to do this video. Not that you aren't, but this is probably one of my favorite movies. It's probably it's my favorite movie in the series that we're talking about.
Half-Blood Prince was mine for many years, and then it's still my favorite movie. And then like close second is
Prisoner of Azkaban.
No, the last movie, the 8th movie.
Oh, Deathly
Part 2.
Hallows.
Yeah, Part 2.
Or Deathly Hallows, actually. I think mine goes Goblet of Fire, Prisoner of Azkaban, Order of the Phoenix, and then Deathly Hallows Part 2. So I'm kind of like right in the middle of their. I don't like Chamber of Secrets is great, and so is like the Sorcerer's Stone.
I mean, the whole movie is great. Like on this channel or on this podcast, we've talked about Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, or Philosopher's Stone if you're British. But yeah, we love all the Harry Potter movies, but in our opinion, there's some that are better than each other.
And the whole series is just like great. I mean,
amazing.
You don't get 8 movies for nothing, right? So
like it's literally to me like the gold standard. I'm like, I wish all movie production studios that are taking a book and creating a movie off of it follow the blueprint that Harry Potter literally gave it. Like 8 movies. It's a huge blueprint. Like I've never heard of a kid coming out and saying it was a horrible work environment. I was abused, blah, 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 blah. Mm-hmm. No, they treated their kids well because they realized this is a kids movie with all kids. They got age-appropriate kids. Instead of getting, like, 20-year-olds to play 15-year-olds, they were like, oh, these kids are maybe 11, 12. Let's get 11, 12-year-olds. Like, exactly. That's just smart. And they followed the book as closely as possible as they could. And you see the success. Everyone loved it because they were like, these movies are amazing. Like, there's some people that have never read the books a day of their life, and they've watched all the movies, and they love them. So,
or you've at least heard of it.
Exactly.
Something. First movie came out 24 years ago, I think. And people are still talking about that. That's crazy.
That's literally insane.
It's insane. But just in case none of you have watched specifically Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, that's the movie we are talking about today. This movie is the 4th movie in the series. So we just said there's 8 in total, technically 7 because the last movie has 2 parts. But so it follows this kid named Harry Potter. And so Harry Potter comes back to Hogwarts for his 4th year. He's about 14 years old. Prisoner of Azkaban just happened. He's reunited with Sirius Black. Like, his life is as good as it could get. He's come back to school. He's ready to be a 4th year. Everything's going to be great. And so there's this Triwizard Tournament that happens, I guess, every couple of years between different wizarding schools. And so there's like the Durmstrang and the bow batons, like the girls in like the blue dresses and skirts. And so there's like this tournament. And so like one person from each of the schools, Hogwarts, the bow bottoms, and the Durmstrangs, they all get like chosen. And so like their name, but only like the 7th years, I believe, or is it 6th and 7th years can put their names in. I believe it's 7th years.
Like I think it was the later years. I can't remember if it was 6 as well. But yeah, you had to be like almost like because it's like a dangerous trial, right?
Actually, I think you had to be a 7th year, I think.
It's okay. And you had to be older because the trial is dangerous, and so they didn't want like 1st year, 2nd years are still learning magic. Because by the time you're like a 7th year, right, you're an adult. You're going into like maybe the Ministry of Magic. Like you're going to be doing all these things, and so you have to be able to perform the spells to be able to be an adult wizard.
Exactly.
And so that's why for this competition, it was only supposed to be like the older kids.
Yeah, and so they're going like. Obviously all the 7th years put in like their names, like the people that can actually sign up. There's a scene where like Fred and George Weasley, who are these two twins, they try and do like this age magic to little, because there's like this circle that Dumbledore, the headmaster, draws, and it's like, okay, well, if you're not 17 or of the age, then you can't like cross the line. So they do like a little age potion. They get like really old and they put their names in, and then the whole spell like backfires on them, and they like basically get stuck being old. And it's like, it's a really funny scene, but just showing like magic, like their magic can't be messed with, like you actually have to be this age. So the names are put in, they're drawn from the different schools. It's Cedric Diggory, Viktor Crumb, and then Fleur, I don't know how to say her last name because it's like French, like Fleur de something. Let me see if I can find in the, I don't think I'll be able to say her name.
It's okay.
Yeah, but Fleur is the girl that gets chosen from the Beauxbatons school. And so they're like ready to start this tournament. They're like, okay, we're good and we're done. And then the Goblet of Fire, like the goblet that they put their names in, basically like starts turning red and magic starts happening, and then another name gets spit out. And they're like, what's going on? There's only supposed to be 3. There's 3 schools, 3 kids. That's how it is every single year this has happened. And Dumbledore's like, man, he like opens up the note and he reads the name. He goes like, Harry Potter. And then like Hermione's like, Harry, go. And Harry's like, no, my name's not supposed to be in there. Like, he's a 4th year, so he's literally 3 years younger than the age like you're supposed to be. People, and so his name to get drawn, and they're like, well, of course he can't compete, he's a child. And they're like, well, this is the rules of the game, so he's going to compete in the Goblet of Fire whether he wants to or not. And so Harry kind of struggles with the trials of people believing him, being able to go through the 3 different trials of the Goblet of Fire challenge, and kind of just, of course, Voldemort and like the regular stuff that happens in Harry Potter. But definitely one of my favorite movies. It has a really good lesson, really good theme, and just like, I don't know, great storyline.
Yeah, I love, like I said, I love Harry Potter, and Goblet of Fire is definitely like top. Like, I would say it's maybe my 3rd favorite.
Yeah, top 3.
It's top 3. And I think something that's interesting about this specific movie is that, well, not maybe this specific movie, but it's progressing as the movies keep going, but is the relationships that Harry starts to build and develop, and like the strength of them, like the love and the familial relationships. You see his relationship with Ron's family continues to become stronger, especially after everything that happened with Sirius Black and everything. Like, you see that this relationship, he's almost like this well, I wanted to say second son, but they have like 3 sons. So no, they have 4.
5.
Is it 5 sons?
Charlie, Percy, Fred, George, Ron.
Oh, you're right. It is 5.
A lot of kids.
5 sons, and then only 1 daughter.
Yeah, Ginny.
But then so it's almost like not second son, but 6th son, another son. And you see, like, Harry really needs that, because think about it. Like, let's go all the way back to the first movie. He didn't have parents. He was adopted by his aunt and uncle that basically abused him. Not basically, they did abuse him. Like, who shoves a kid into a broom closet? Like,
yeah, broom closet.
Like, I'm sorry, what? Like, a child?
Terrible.
And it's just like, but you see that he continues to like become have this more familial relationship. And then you also see he's kind of developing, like, you know, the teenage boy, like, relationships and crushes, and with Cho and everything. And he starts to like this girl. And it's like, it's really interesting. And you see, like, it happening with all the friends. You see Viktor Crumb and Hermione, they're like in this relationship, and Ron's like, no, I don't like.
Ron's jealous, but he doesn't want to admit it.
Like, I don't know. I've heard that the internet hates Ron. Over in this house, we love all 3 characters. We love Ron, we love Hermione, and we love Harry.
Although I do hear that Ron is better in the books, but it's been a really long time.
Yeah, it's been a long time
since I read the books.
I was telling Yosef before we started filming this that I actually want to read and watch the movies like simultaneously. So I want to read the first book, then watch the first movie, read the second book, watch the second movie, and so forth. And so, yeah, I mean, I just love how we see Harry continuing to like progress and continuing to like mature, because he is becoming, like, you know, not this child anymore, but this teenage boy that's almost becoming this man. And you see that you know, his interactions even at the end with Voldemort. Like, this is less of like, oh, I'm a child and still need to be protected, but like I'm actually like I'm going head to head with Voldemort. Like it's the build up. Like, you know, the fourth movie and then the Half-Blood Prince.
The maturity.
Yeah, like it's coming. It's going, and it's like the final almost. This is almost like this is beginning of like the climax of the story.
And I feel like, I know maybe people have said this, but I feel like this is the last movie that shows him as a child. I want to say, like, because you see
enjoying school life.
Yeah, because the first two movies, like, I don't know about now, but at least when they first came out, they were PG. The first two movies, you can tell, are very much like a toned down, like, yeah, it's kind of scary, but it's like, oh, they're like 11, 12-year-olds.
I mean, that's how the books are too.
Yeah, and Prisoner of Azkaban, like Sirius Black, like there's some themes they're pushing there, but then the fourth movie is when I think this is the first character we see that dies.
Yeah.
That's almost Harry's age. Cedric Diggory dies, and then Half-Blood Prince, Sirius dies, and like all these things happen. And these, I feel like this movie and the fifth movie are some of the last kind of scenes we see Harry as a child, because he never really had that childhood, and like the Weasleys kind of took him in, but then like Voldemort is, you know, becoming a large threat, and so his childhood is slowly being like taken away from him every single movie. And kind of just like a longer point about Ron. I love Ron, but in this specific movie, he's a terrible friend.
Yeah.
Which is why I will always stand by the Harry and Hermione, like, friendship. Not necessarily over Ron and Harry. Like, Ron and Harry are still, like, they're, like, the best friends, like, of course. But I feel like
Hermione... Why can't we just say they're a trio? Like, why is it that we have to, like, separate, like, Ron and Hermione, or Hermione and Ron... I said that right. Ron and Hermione, Hermione and Ron? Ron and Harry...
Hermione and Ron are together.
Yeah, exactly. Why can't they just be, like... As in terms of friendship, obviously not romantic, but why can't we just say they're friends? Why
because like they are a trio, but it's also like, of course they have, you know, Hermione's gonna have her moments with Harry, Harry's gonna have his moments with Ron, and so, like,
I think that they're just.
But I think in this movie, it shows. How do I put this? It kind of shows like the real world, because I think they've been kind of living in this
the immaturity
fantasy,
of Ron.
Yeah, of like, oh, we're all best friends and we're going to believe each other and we're going to stick through everything. And, like, the first three movies are, like, this, like, attached at the hip trio.
Literally.
And I think in Ron's defense, like, I'm going to come to bat for him, because I don't think he shouldn't have believed him, but also I think it was, like, a possibility, because he is best friends with Harry. So what was going through his mind is he's like, oh, Harry wanted to be, like, the cool guy that, you know, swoops in and he wins the Goblet of Fire, because we know Harry Potter, every movie, is saving them from this creature and that professor, and Harry's always the guy that's saving the day. So Ron, in his mindset, was thinking, oh, this is another time he's trying to do that. Ron wasn't upset at the fact that Harry put his name in the Goblet of Fire. He was upset that if he had done it, he didn't tell Ron. So I think that's kind of like, not like a misconception, but that's kind of something that's a little like warped in like the hate for Ron, is we don't realize that Ron's not actually upset about him being in the Goblet of like Fire contest or tournament. He's more upset about the fact it's like, oh, why wasn't I involved in this? But I do think it kind of shows like the hardships, and I do think that need to happen in this movie, kind of for Harry to be on his own and to figure things out on his own for the first time. Because we see in Deathly Hallows, there are points in time where it's literally him against Voldemort. And so I think some of the movies coming up prepare him for this. And Hermione's there, of course, but she kind of has to still be on Ron's side and, you know, damage control. So there are points in time where Harry's preparing for a tournament or for one of the trials, and he's literally on his own. So...
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think that especially the middle books was very preparatory. Like, we were trying to prepare him for this last battle. And that's why I called it the beginning of the climax, because you see that things are starting to roll. It's no longer like the kids, oh, you know, this is scary. There was a ghost in the bathroom.
Oh, we're fighting the snake down in the basement.
Like, it's no longer that. I mean, not that that's, like, great. That's so
terrible.
Scary. Like, please don't let me be in that. But
it's, like, the same 3 kids ever.
Yeah, I'm sure if you go to school with those people, you would actually hate them. You're like...
I wouldn't be friends with them.
You're like, it's like, you know what... So you remember like when COVID came and everything, and like the whole thing of people my age. I graduated in 2021 from high school. It's like people my age, the whole thing is like, of course our year is like when COVID decided to hit and we have to graduate during like COVID. Of course our year is when we're going through a recession of like, and like almost recession, and like jobs aren't hiring and everything. I'm like, it's always our year. And it's just so, it's interesting. Like, I'm sure that's how you would
every
think.
year feels.
You're
about.
Like, why couldn't I have been like born 10 years earlier when this wasn't happening?
Exactly.
But you know what came to my mind as we were talking about this was the Ministry of Magic was actually really corrupt, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like, a lot of them were on, like, Voldemort's side, and
all of them were on Voldemort's side, but if they weren't, they weren't solving problems.
Yeah.
They were kind of finding a way to, like, you know,
be in the middle almost.
Yeah.
And so, you know what came to my mind? Like, it came to my mind the way that society is right now. It's almost like they're like the people in charge, they're supposed to protect the people, are not protecting the people, and the great bad is in the way of, like, it's almost like in the depths of all the
like you can't even tell.
Yeah,
anymore.
What's supposed to be for justice is no longer, it's now on the side of one person instead of like for the people. And that's just like, because think about it, it's the Ministry of Magic. They're supposed to be supporting magic, not just one he who shall not be named kind of, you know, like characterization. Like, and so that's what came to my mind. I was like, oh my gosh, like the parallels are like,
oh yeah,
are there,
because they're just talking about how corrupt political and government institutions can be, because we see again the Ministry of Magic isn't necessarily like bad, but we see there's things they do in later movies where they report things about Harry Potter or about this person and Sirius Black. Like, I'm not them saying, maybe they knew, maybe they didn't, I can't exactly remember, but it's like they were basically on like a bounty hunt for this guy that didn't even like do the thing that they were blaming him for. And it was like they kind of like twisted around, and like the director of the Ministry of Magic also was trying to kind of get Harry on his side. I think it's in like the 4th or 5th movie, and he's kind of like, okay, well, you know, I'm gonna get you your textbooks, I'm gonna do this for you, and you know, like, you know, just kind of like join our side and this, that, and it kind of just shows like the lines blur a little bit between, it gets a little gray in the Ministry of Magic. We see like Ron and like the Weasley's dad is like, Arthur Weasley is like straight. He's like, nope, this is what's right and this is what's wrong. But he's saying like, oh, some of the people I work with, it's like, you know.
And you notice like him, the Weasley, he's straight and he's ostracized almost like that.
Oh yeah.
They're like, oh, they're this family. Oh,
they're like, this family's weird. Like, they're like,
because they're on the right path.
But then the Malfoys, they're like,
they're so
pristine and perfect and everything.
I mean, yeah, they had more money, obviously, but I mean, it's the parallels. Like, the parallels to real life are insane.
Yeah, because both their families were purebloods.
Yeah,
but it's like the way they treated Draco was almost like, oh, you're so great and amazing. But then it's like Ron's family's also, they have, 6 kids? And all their kids are wizards and witches. Their entire bloodline.
And then the older ones who graduated from, like, Hogwarts, like, they were all, like, it's just the parallels are interesting.
Yeah. And I think one thing I like this about every movie is we kind of see, like, this like support system that Harry always has. I know Luna isn't in this movie, but Luna Lovegood, I love her in the Order of the Phoenix, especially. Did
I ever tell you I had a French teacher that literally looked like her?
A French teacher?
I kid you not. I was in 7th grade in my middle school. So 7th grade in my middle school, we did like 6 weeks of 2 languages. So 6 weeks. I did 6 weeks of French first and then 6 weeks of Spanish. And then you were supposed to pick a language afterwards to do in 8th grade for like the whole year, or for like 9 weeks, I think. And so I get there and I see the teacher and I was like,
Luna Lovegood.
Luna Lovegood? I was like, I even remember going like after class and I like searched on the phone the cast. I was like, no, she looks like her.
Oh my goodness.
It was so weird.
It was the actor.
No, it literally was. She became like
a
middle school teacher in a suburb of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
That is hilarious. Or that is so funny when you see people that look exactly like someone you know, and you're like, oh my god.
Like the hair, the eyes, even the voice of it. It was freaky.
That's crazy. You're like, Luna Lovegood in the flesh right here. Should have gotten an autograph. Who knows, bro? But I love this movie because we see some not necessarily unexpected help, but it's not like it's not, what's the word? It's not like you would think like I would get help from this person. Like we see Neville Longbottom helping Harry with the gillyweed so that he can compete in the tournament. Because one of the trials was literally going underwater to save somebody that like you cared about. And Harry Potter's like, how am I supposed to hold my breath for like 3 hours or whatever? And Neville's able to like give him the gillyweed thing that we end up like realizing is like Barty Crouch imposing as like Moody, who actually gave him the idea.
Junior.
But like, but like, I mean, it's like still it was like Neville's like intent to help. And then even Cedric Diggory helping Harry Potter with the egg, being like, oh, like try it in the bath, like try it underwater so that he can see like the message. It's like they're supposed to be rivals. And I know, yes, Harry did help Cedric first with like the very first like trial or whatever, but it's still like that was his like opponent. Like that was like the person you're racing against. And even in the last scene before Cedric dies, when they both hold on to the port key to get the goblet, Harry's like, no, you go first. And then Cedric's like, oh, we'll do it together. And they get transported to Voldemort's haven or whatever's going on there, his little like seance magic thing.
Oh my god!
He's like trying to bring himself back to life. We see that like Cedric's like literally standing in between like him and like Harry, and he literally sacrifices his life. And like I just think it was just so much more than the tournament and everything. It's like Cedric and Harry had really become friends by the end of the movie, and that's why his death hurts so much. Because this is the first person, like I said before, that we see that Harry literally, well, not only that Harry experienced the death, but he saw die in front of him and for him.
Yeah.
And so that's devastating to Harry and just Cedric's father and everyone in Hogwarts that just had hope and all.
And I wonder even like what was maybe running through his mind, and maybe it said it in the book. It's been so long since I read it. But like he, like you said, Cedric sacrificed himself for him. Mm-hmm. And I wonder if the parallel was to his mom, who also sacrificed herself for him. It was almost like, oh my gosh, it happened again, where someone like Voldemort took someone in front of me and literally they had to sacrifice themselves to protect me. And I wonder like how he felt about that. How like I'm sure he just was like so devastated. It's like another time, another person.
And we see like there's almost like, I don't know what it's called, that portal protection that they give him, but when like the wand of like Voldemort and Harry, like because they're opposites, they're throwing magic at each other. And there's like the shield, and then Harry's like, mom, dad show up to like, we'll protect you. And Cedric, and he's like, oh, take my body back. Like, I'll use my last life essence to protect you. And I'm like, it's my favorite movie, but it's also devastating.
Yeah.
Because I feel like not only is that the last like moment of Harry's childhood, but I feel like Hogwarts becomes different because it's like this used to be a place where people were safe. And
now it's a war.
Yeah.
And the guy that they're after is literally your classmate. Like, I mean, I don't blame some of the parents for wanting to take their kids out.
Yeah.
I mean, can you imagine your own kid and you know that there's one kid that the evil bad is after?
They're like, hey, let's just throw him to Voldemort.
I mean, come on. You're like, I mean, from Harry's perspective, it's like it's the safest place for him. But if you were a parent,
it's like that place is not safe.
Either you're like, I take my kid out, or he leaves. Like I understand. It's a rough situation. It
was getting rough in Hogwarts the last couple of movies.
It was.
Let's just say that.
Have you ever seen that TikTok of Umbridge? Like she's like she's always in pink, but she's like walking around Harry. He's having to do his punishment after something. And they like put like romantic music Because they were like, basically the whole thing is like the music really does set the scene. And so it's like one of those like romantic music. And so now it looks like this cougar teacher like going after this teenage boy.
15-year-old.
And it's like her circling him. And it's like, it's so, everyone in the comments are like, this is so disgusting. Like I need to purge my eyes out.
Wrong.
It was so funny.
It's terrible. Ugh.
Terrible. But no, she's like actually trying to hurt him and kill him.
Yeah,
But
it's crazy.
But that's not that movie.
It's next movie.
Next movie, which is also very good. But yeah, another thing about Harry is that he's so brave. Like Harry just always has been brave. Like he did not like he had to, you know, go through the trials and everything, but like he knew he's not the one to put his name in. Like he's not at the correct age to even do it. Like he doesn't understand why the Goblet of Fire even spit out his name. Like it doesn't, and why there was even like a fourth name that was came out instead of 3. Like he's like, why are all these things happening, kind of thing. But regardless of all of that, regardless of his questions and his anxiety, I'm sure, and all these emotions happening around him, he was like, I'm going to be brave and I'm going to win I'm going to attempt to win this tournament to the best of my ability. And you see him working hard, and obviously his magic and his skill set aren't up to par. And that's why you have to see like someone like Cedric, bless his heart, had to come and like help him and everything. And you like just see that this boy is truly becoming and on the path to becoming this like great man, this great wizard that not only doesn't shirk away from the bad and the scary and the things he's unprepared for, but goes in headstrong. And I think he's such a great example of like in life, things are so unexpected. In life, you think you have a plan, you think that, you know, you wrote your name correctly or your name isn't down on the list, but sometimes it is. And sometimes what you need to do is just go headstrong in and continue to push forward. And you never know. I mean, sometimes, you know, he could have ended up like Cedric. That really could have been what had happened. But sometimes, you know, you end up like Harry, where you're able to continue to fight and win at the end. And so I think that Harry's such a great example of persistence and resilience. And I just love Harry Potter. I just love Harry. I love all the characters. Bro. They have a special place in my heart.
So it's like, that's my childhood, bro. Like,
yes.
And that's mine now. Like I still watch the movies. I'm like, oh my goodness, I never realized that. Like, I don't know if it's just me, but like I rewatched the entire series like I think a year or two ago, and even in because
it always comes back on like Max, HBO Max,
or like
Netflix
or Peacock. So I like watched the whole like series, and I noticed like the last couple movies there were so many references with like Snape and stuff, because I had read the books. And I had watched the last couple movies, but you know, the first time you watch something, you never get it the whole way through. And I'm like rewatching, I'm like, okay, Snape did this, and like these characters, and like all these people were connected. It's just like mind blowing to see kind of like these people that you think like, or the storyline that you think you understand. And it's like you can literally probably watch that movie 30 times and know every single line. I guarantee you're gonna learn something new every time you watch it, and that's what I love. Maybe a lot of movies do this. I haven't watched other movies as much as I've watched Harry Potter, but Harry Potter does that really well. The writing is just amazing. And especially, I love in this movie kind of like the importance of, like we were saying before, Ron and Harry were a little bit immature in that, like, yes, Ron was upset at Harry, and he was the one that initiated like not talking to Harry at first and being mad. But I do think there were scenes where, like, Ron would come up and try to apologize, and Harry would kind of be like, oh, well, whatever, and trying to kind of act. I mean, he is too good for Ron. But, like, there were some scenes where he'd act like, okay.
Ron's a sweetie. Like, they all are.
Yeah, maybe not in the fourth movie. We don't talk about the fourth movie, Ron. That's a different person.
But he's still, like I say a sweetie because, like, they're all just kids. Like,
14 is old enough to know.
It is old enough, but it's still immature. Like, how many times have you seen, like, like someone that bullied someone in school, and like as they get older they come back and they're like, I'm so sorry, like, and there's deep remorse. Like maybe they don't even live in the same city, they never are gonna see them again, but they're like, I need to apologize to this person. How many times do you see that? I think that, yeah, like we like to say 14, 15 is old enough, but sometimes, especially the male brain, I've said this before,
sometimes
it ain't developed
30
yet.
Isn't enough for some people. No offense, but like
that's why they have midlife crisis.
Yeah, there you go. But like I think, like you're saying, like there was like this immaturity for both of them, and then kind of once they came back and like they both realized, they're like, oh, I was being an idiot and I was being an idiot and we're both idiots and let's just be friends again because we're fighting over something stupid. And he's like, I need my best friend with me. Like, we love Hermione and everything, but they're not a trio without like Ron, Harry, and Hermione all being friends. And we see like Ron's able to help him with the dragon thing that his brother, like Charlie or whoever had come up with. And it's like he needed that support system. And we see that kind of in every movie, that he literally, in the Deathly Hallows, he's kind of trying to tell like Ron and Hermione, he's like, no, like I need to on my own. They're like, we're not going to let you. Like, we're part of this too. Like, you can't just like push us out.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of what Ron was feeling. And he was like, oh, Harry's trying to push me out. And again, it's that lack of maturity. But like, as the movie went on, he started to realize like, he's not pushing me out. This is a cry for help. Because, like, he doesn't know what else to do. And then also, I remember there is one scene where where Harry's talking to Sirius Black, but it's in, like, the fire pit. Mm-hmm. Remember that scene? And Harry's, like, talking to Sirius, and Sirius is like, oh, don't tell anyone that we're talking. And, like, Ron walks downstairs, and then, like, he goes, like, oh, who are you talking to? And Harry goes, like, no one. He goes, like, I heard voices. He's like, then you must be hearing things. And then I'm like, and that's one of those moments where I'm like, okay, Harry, there was a better way. Like, this is why your friendship is on the rocks. There was a better way to handle that. But again, like, they're 14 and they kind of work through it. And I think that strengthens their bond.
I think so, too.
For sure. So
sometimes you have to get to that low point of that friendship to really, like, build it up and make it almost stronger. It's like if the foundation's a bit rocky, maybe it's childish or something like that. But it's like it's able to overcome that. It's able to, like, build it up, and it's stronger than ever. And, I mean, you saw in the future, just skipping ahead, but, I mean, their kids are friends. Like, it all full circle at the end.
I'm literally about to rewatch these. I'm about to rewatch all the movies we're talking about.
we talked about Crazy Rich Asians today, and this is Harry Potter. Like, these two movies, I'm like, these
are like top tier. Yeah. Like, I don't care what anybody says. These are top tier movies. Like, if you don't think Harry Potter, Crazy Rich Asians, like all these movies, like
To All the Boys I Loved Before, like
that is like so good.
So good.
Like, even like Descendants, like I'm gonna go to bat for that movie. You may say the CGI sucks.
There's cringe, of course.
The acting's iffy.
But it's still said maybe but I feel like Descendants is nostalgia. I feel like it's more of that than like
but
great.
Also,
like,
the storyline is good though.
The storyline is good. Like, it's really creative. Like, it's a great spin on. It's almost like Once Upon a Time spin. Like, that's the kind of like creativity and writing it gives me.
Yeah, because there's some modern shows and movies that like have potential, but they don't have that good storyline, or they don't have good writing to kind of go along with it. Mm-hmm. So the whole story kind of just like breaks down.
It doesn't.
But not Harry Potter. Never Harry Potter.
I think that's all we have for today, though. But thank you all so much for tuning in and watching or listening to this till the end. We hope you loved hearing us talk about Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. As you can tell, because we spent 30 plus minutes talking about it, we really do love Harry Potter. Yeah. And it's the second time we've talked about Harry Potter on this podcast. But if you haven't already, make sure you give this video a thumbs up, a little like, and make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you're listening to this on any of the podcasting platform, make sure to follow and leave us a 5-star review on there as well. And if you aren't already, make sure to follow us on Instagram and TikTok. It's linked below. It's linked in the bio. It's linked everywhere. But it's the same name as everything, and we post 2 times a day, 6 days a week, and we will see you guys next week.
All right.
Bye.